So I feel like all these years I'm going in to the new year saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. This is going to make me a better person. But I was never really doing any real inner work. And then I would fall off.
You told me I could trust you.
Turn it up loud.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Shanique and this is the Viva La Spice. And on this channel, we like to focus on thrifting, fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. Today's video is going to be a lifestyle video. It's going to be the final monthly memo for 2021. I feel like it's super cliche to say, oh my gosh, this year went by so fast. I don't know if it's just from getting older or what, but every single year just flies by. Even with this pandemic, I feel like you would think with a pandemic and us being in lockdown and not being able to do everything that we were able to do before, like the time would have been dragging by. But I can't believe it's about to be 2022. Like, I'm not even fully done processing 2020. Anywho, this video is going to be the last monthly memo for 2021. If you haven't seen any of my monthly memo videos, I will link the playlist somewhere on the screen or in down here somewhere. But basically every month I like to talk about a theme or focus on a concept for that month, but also implement that like for the rest of my life. So let's just get straight into it. The concept for the December monthly memo is going to be healing. Yes, I spoke about this kind of in my last monthly memo. I had on the I'm with all the healing shirt by Live Your Purpose. And I have really just been on that wave. Now, I've been trying to heal my whole adult life. You know, we've all had things that happened in our childhood. We've all had our issues. Like, I feel like none of us just had a completely perfect upbringing, and there's always something to improve. Even if you feel like you've pretty much got it all together, there's always... What are they doing, bro? I feel like in life there's always room for improvement. We should always be striving to improve. And I've just really been taking my healing journey the most seriously I've ever taken it, I'd say these last 2 years, probably this past year in particular. Like, these last 2 years have definitely been the realest years of my life, but this year, like 2021, has been so real. And I went through a bunch of experiences that I'm thankful for, because I feel like you got to find gratitude in everything, even when you hit a low place or make a mistake or you're not understanding why something's happening to you. I feel like it's really important to figure out what the lesson is, because I feel like God or the universe or whatever higher power you believe in is always trying to teach you something, and that could be through mistakes, failures, losses. And so the experiences I went through this year really made me like take a step back and try to dissect why I was reacting to certain things the way I was reacting, why certain things were triggering me. It really just made me like really re-examine me and my way of thinking, and really inspired me and motivated me to like retrain my brain and unlearn as well as learn. So I wanted this last video of the year to be about healing, because I know as we approach the end of the year, sometimes we tend to slack off in December because January is supposed to be like the fresh start, right? That's when we're supposed to, you know, have all these New Year's resolutions and just completely change, and new year, new me. I'm leaving this stuff in 2021 and I'm only going to do this in 2022. And I realized that that sort of trend can be really toxic and really detrimental, because it is a trend. And I want to focus on it not being a trend. The difference between going into this year and going into all the past years, like, I don't want these resolutions to be like temporary changes. So instead of looking at them as resolutions, I want them to be like permanent life changes, permanent habits. And I don't want to start on January 1st. I feel like just start now, because when you put a date on things, sometimes it doesn't work in your favor. Now, if you're somebody that you can set a time and a date and say, this is when I'm going to do this, that's wonderful. But for me, I just feel like, why not start now? I'm equipped with the tools, the resources, the knowledge, the willpower to just start now. I don't want to spend the rest of this month like slacking off or trying to like get everything out of the way. I kind of don't want to adapt that mindset that like for the rest of December, I'm going to eat crazy. I'm going to, not be disciplined. I'm not going to work out. I'm going to just like go super hard in December. And then like January is when I'm going to be like really serious. Like, I don't know how productive that is to the changes I'm trying to make. I want to start those changes now, but I wanted to talk about healing because I really started to realize, like I said, this has been these last 2 years, I've really been taking my healing process seriously, much more seriously than I have in the past. And that's because in the past, I didn't have the resources, I didn't have the tools, I wasn't necessarily in environments or situations that forced me to really like face myself and face my traumas and really, put me on the path to healing. Going into a new year and saying you're going to eat better, or you're going to start working out, or you're going to start journaling, or you make these short-term goals, and then a lot of us will fall off by February, March, right? And I don't want to go into a new year with all of these things that I'm going to change when I'm not changing myself on the inside. I don't want to continue to be the same unhealed, broken person and saying new year, new me, and I'm not really doing the inner work. I'm doing all of these trendy things, but deep down inside, am I doing the work to truly change me? Because I feel like in order to change, the change starts inward. And if I'm going to continue to be this broken, unhealed person, yeah, working out might, make me feel better. It might get me into better shape. But if I'm depressed or if I'm anxious, isn't that going to affect my motivation when it comes to working out? So what I'm really trying to get at is all these years, every January, I'm like, I'm going to make these changes, but I'm not really making the true changes that matter. So like the resolutions that I'm making are me kind of like slapping a Band-Aid on all of my wounds instead of like really trying to heal them. The Band-Aid is just covering them up. I'm going through the motions. I'm doing what feels right. You have a wound. You may not know exactly how to dress it or take care of it. So the only thing that seems right is, oh, I'm gonna slap a Band-Aid on it because it's gonna look like I tried to do something. It's gonna, look like to other people that I'm trying to do something. I'm gonna cover it up because it's ugly and it's gonna provide some temporary relief. But is it truly going to heal it if you don't do the steps that you really need to heal? So I feel like all these years I'm going in to the new year saying I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, this is going to make me a better person, but I was never really doing any real inner work, and then I would fall off by February, March. It's like buying into the hype because society makes it such a thing, like, oh, January everybody's going to be new, like like the gym memberships skyrocket in January because everyone wants to be fit, but then like by March, half those people aren't coming anymore. And it's trendy. It's almost cosmetic. It's on the outside. These resolutions when you're not really taking the time to do your inner work. So I want to talk about a YouTuber that I just recently kind of started watching named Alexis Sparks. And she has a lot of videos about self-love and self-care. And I love the way she presents the information because she just breaks it down in a really simple, realistic way. She's basically just talking about her experiences. Like she has a video on how to like build your confidence, how to feel like that girl. And all of the things that she was saying, I just felt like were so practical and really applied to my life and were practices that I could apply on a day-to-day basis. And one of the things she talked about was doing shadow work and really analyzing your shadow self. Now, my shadow self, that is somebody that I do not want to claim. I don't want to acknowledge exists. Like, we don't know her. My shadow self, I don't know her. Like, she can't sit over here. But as I'm approaching 30, I'm like, I need to know and face my shadow self. And if you don't know who your shadow self is, this is what Wikipedia says. In analytical psychology, your shadow is either an unconscious aspect of the personality that the conscious ego does not identify in itself, or the entirety of the unconscious. That is, everything of which a person is not fully conscious. In short, the shadow is the unknown side. So basically, your shadow side is like everything that you are, but you don't want people to know that, or you might not truly know that you are. These are things that I had to identify because these character traits aren't normally present unless I'm triggered by something, and then one of those character traits might come out. So on a day-to-day basis, no, I'm not self-centered. I don't carry myself in an arrogant way. I'm actually very, very humble. I don't like to accept compliments. And I'm always thinking of others. But I realize that I'm self-centered in a way where sometimes I feel like everything is about me. And I mean that in a way where I get into my own head, and I might worry about what others think. I might worry about, judgment, when at the end of the day, it's like, girl, everything ain't about you. Like, nobody's thinking about you. Like, literally everybody's thinking about themselves. Another part of my shadow side is the side that's not confident. People tell me all the time that I just seem so confident, so outgoing, so extroverted. And yes, some of that is true. That is true. I am like that most of the time. But a lot of the confidence that I have, I built it by faking it. And that was one of the videos in one of Alexis Sparks' videos. She touched on how a lot of times we are taught to be confident just by faking it, like fake it till you make it. And she broke it down in a way where, like, you can really build true, genuine confidence, because who wants to just pretend to be confident and think one day eventually they'll believe it because everybody else believed it, which was how I was thinking for forever. I'm like, oh, well, if I just come off as confident, like, everybody else gonna think I'm confident. But at the end of the day, do I really want to just pretend to be confident, or do I really want to have self-confidence? So that was something that was an eye-opener for me, like doing shadow work to kind of reveal the layers of my shadow self and see what I can do to work on that. It really helps because it shows you like what triggers you, and then you can kind of go deeper into it and kind of unpack why certain things are triggering you, and whether they have to stem with your childhood or your adolescenthood or just past experiences. You can really break it down and see, why am I triggered by this? So I'm saying all of this to say, you can make all the resolutions you want to make. That's not going to change you if you're not healed. I feel like healing is step one to making these lifestyle changes, because you need to change your inner world before you can change your outer world. Now, it starts with the man in the mirror. It starts with the way you think about yourself and the way you perceive the world, and that can really change the outside for you. That can change your environment. So I feel like, the inner work is really important. The resolutions, they're not going to change you if you're not doing the work to change yourself and to heal. So this isn't to say like, oh, you shouldn't make any resolutions. I feel like be intentional with your resolutions. Why are you saying you want to work out more in 2022? Because that's what everybody else is doing, because you want a nice body? Or is it going to make you physically stronger so that you feel mentally stronger? Is it like, how is it really going to benefit you in your path to healing, in your healing journey? It is really important for me to do everything now with intention. Like I said, I'm approaching 30. I'll be 30 next July. And I just feel like I don't have time to waste on doing things without intention. Everything needs to have intention behind it. Are you being intentional about the things you want to change? Are you being intentional about your goals? What are you going to do so that you actually stick to these resolutions and you don't fall off by February, March? What about resolutions like setting boundaries. If you're a person who has trouble with setting boundaries or never learned how to set boundaries, how about that being a resolution? Like, I know I have an issue with setting boundaries with people because I don't like to inconvenience people. I oftentimes put other people's needs before mine, and then I end up being on E because I'm trying to pour into all these people and I'm not pouring into myself. And setting boundaries is something that affects that. And that's something that has been so hard for me. And all these years, I never thought of making that a New Year's resolution. I never said, this year I'm setting boundaries. Like, this year I'm learning how to say no. If you feel like you never tell people no and it's taxing on your mental health, make that a resolution. Start telling people no. And yes, you are gonna piss some people off because people hate when somebody that they know and is useful in their life starts to stick up for themselves and isn't always available. But the people that you piss off or the people that you might lose, those are the people you didn't need. When you love yourself, you start to weed out the people in your life that are toxic and that you may have never even realized are toxic because you've been going through life not setting boundaries, letting, these people walk all over you, or, always being there for this person. And because you never stood up for yourself or you never put certain things into place, you may never have realized how toxic they are. You'll realize when you start telling people no. It's like, okay, how are you going to be mad at me because you asked me for something and I said I couldn't do it? That shows that they feel entitled to you because in the past you never said no. And it'll just show you, because if somebody truly loves you, they're not going to be mad at you for saying no because, you don't want to sacrifice your mental health, or you don't have time, you don't have the resources, you don't have the money, or maybe you just don't feel like doing it. You don't always have to do everything for everybody, which is something that I'm learning. Is definitely set goals, definitely set resolutions, but have the mindset that you're going to stick with them and have intention behind it. If I want to work out 5 times a week, what am I going to do to make sure that I'm working out 5 times a week for the whole year of 2022 and not just January and February? If you want to eat better in 2022, what is the intention behind it? Is it to lose weight, or is it to have good gut health so that your mental health can improve as well? Because your gut is connected to your mind. Your gut is your second brain. Everything that you consume, food-wise, drink-wise, affects you and your day-to-day decisions and your ability to make decisions and just your everyday life. So that is like a subject for a whole nother video, how important it is to be mindful of what we're eating and, what we're taking in. But yeah, just be intentional about the goals that you're setting, the resolutions that you're making, what you can do to really put yourself on a path of healing. And if you feel like you're not in need of healing, just a path to be a better person, because there's always room for improvement. You can always be better. I don't think we'll ever be able to reach a place where we feel like everything is 100% and I don't need to improve on anything, because there's always stuff to learn, there's always stuff to unlearn, and you can always put yourself in the position to teach somebody something. So going into 2022, let us heal, be on the path to healing. Let us enjoy our healing journey. Let us set goals, resolutions with intention. Let's spread love and light. There's so much darkness in the world. Why would you want to contribute to that? You never know what somebody is going through. A simple smile, a simple thank you, a simple please, a simple hello can go so far. So I encourage all of you guys to just make sure you're being a light in somebody's life. You never know who needs you. And to continue with our healing journeys, our journeys to be better, our journeys to the life that we deserve to have and that we will have. And let's finish out this month strong. That doesn't mean don't have fun, don't enjoy the holidays, don't enjoy your friends, your family, for sure. Just remember the bigger picture. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like this video. It helps me out so much. I would love to hear what you guys' resolutions or goals are for 2022. I'm going to leave a comment down below saying what I want to change in my life for 2022 and what I'm going to do to try to attain those goals. And as always, stay safe and be blessed. I love you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.